Unit 2, technology. What do you guys see in the picture?
Cell phone.
Cell phones, right?
Mm,
What is happening with the cell phone?
I think they're having a video call.
They are having a video call. Yes. Is this old technology or is this new technology?
New technology.
It is new. It wasn't there when I was in high school. What about you guys, Felipe and Dario? Did you have it in high school?
No, I didn't have internet at all. I think so. When I was in high, yeah.
What about you, Leslie? Did you have internet in high school?
Yes.
Are you still in high school?
No.
No more. Okay, good. Now in unit 1, in unit 2, you will talk about technology and its impact. You will add information to nouns, use conjunctions such as both, and neither, nor. You will signal expectations with adverbs like presumably and ironically. And you will use can't or couldn't possibly to say what is impossible. Now, lesson A. How private is private? So we have here a signal saying this is private and the other is public, right? They are opposites. And this is a padlock. What does this padlock mean?
I think it means that it's secure, that there's like software that is protecting your gadget and your information in some way.
So it's protecting your information, what? Your private information, correct? How private do you consider these things to be? What is this?
Phone number.
A phone number. How private is a phone number? Is it very private? Is somewhat private or is not private at all?
I will say kind of, because it's easy to get our cell phones from like the bank companies and yeah, many other suppliers. So yeah, I think it's not really difficult to get them.
So it's not really private, right? What about your date of birth? Is this private or is this not private?
Not really. I think it's easier to get them. Yeah, if you have Facebook and you have placed like your day of birth, it could be like pretty easy to get it. But depends of the settings, of course. But
Yeah.
I think it's not really hard to know like the day of birth of people.
Okay. That comes along with age, right? What about your marital status? If you're single, married, widowed, divorced, is that private information? How about your email? What about your favorite websites? What about your personal photos?
Google and Facebook knows everything. I mean, yeah.
So it's not very private, is it? What else do you consider as private?
You know, like this number, the PIN, like the ones that we use for getting money from the bank or.
Yeah, the PIN number, yes. Thank you, the PIN number. Dario, yes?
All banks information.
Bank info.
Sorry. Yes.
Bank info. Thank you very much. Any other ideas, guys? Leslie? No? All right. What about privacy? What's privacy?
I will say that is the right to keep your information secret. Yes, something like that.
Okay, good. You're right to have your information secret. Very good. What is invasion of privacy?
When someone tries to log in your account,
Really? When someone tries to log in your account? I don't think that's invasion.
mm,
Guys, what do you think that is?
or what about when the companies,
That would be hacking, wouldn't it?
yeah, that would be when the companies buy your information.
Ah, when companies buy your information. Yes. What about you guys? Do you agree with Leslie?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, everything, every unwanted access to your information would be an invasion of privacy, I think.
All right. Let's listen to a class debate about privacy and invasion of privacy. What things do they consider private? All right, we're going to listen to a debate and we're going to pay attention to things considered private. Are you ready?
Yes.
In the college debate next week, the subject to be discussed is changing attitudes toward privacy. Do you think privacy has a different meaning nowadays?
Yes, definitely. I mean, people put pictures online and share intimate details with hundreds of so-called friends on social networks. You can watch videos of absolutely anything, you know? People brushing their teeth, all kinds of things that were once considered private.
Right. And every few minutes, they post updates saying what they're doing. The cat just bit me, or gonna wash my hair. We don't need to know things like that.
True. You can get to know more about people on the other side of the world than about someone next door or the guy upstairs. But I guess it's pretty harmless.
Maybe, but what about real invasions of privacy? Like online stores bombard you with ads offering personal recommendations because they know what you've searched for, and applications programmed to monitor your email. Then on your screen, you get those pop-up ads based on what you've just written. They're the ones I find creepy.
Well, you can just ignore ads. What worries me is the information demanded from you if you just want a username for a website. Sometimes they want your mailing address, cell phone number, date of birth, everything. There must be a lot of people happy to give away all this information, but they have no idea of how it'll be used. They get taken in by websites eager to make money by selling their databases to other companies.
Privacy is not an easy concept to define. So let's see if we can come up with a definition of privacy.
So, guys, what things do they consider private?
They talk about pictures and things that we normally do in a daily life, but yeah, I don't know. It could be privacy, private things, but I think they offer these kind of examples.
Mhm. So the examples are pictures, photos of doing personal things. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they talk about it. I mean, they were discussing if that is really private or not, because of course you are like posting publicly. So I mean, it's not really private if you put it publicly.
Okay. Very good. So that's an example of something that is considered private, but people don't think is private. Something like that. All right. What things do they consider invasion of privacy? No ideas.
Yes, I think they discuss about this situation when you are receiving like offers from products that maybe you were looking for, and then you receive like a lot of information. I mean, information, publicity about them. So it's like an invasion of your privacy.
Okay. Yes, Leslie.
Yeah, like Felipe says, they are talking about something like online stores and show you recommendations
Show you what?
recommendations from your taste. You know, like you sometimes you think internet are watching you because you sometimes are thinking about I want to buy a pencil and in the other minutes you watch a lot pencils in your yeah, something like that, I think.
So the internet is watching you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they give a definition of privacy?
I don't remember honestly,
No.
or I
I
didn't
think
catch it.
I don't quite remember. They say it's difficult to to do a
All right.
definition.
So let's listen. Listen and read, please.
In the college debate next week, the subject to be discussed is changing attitudes toward privacy. Do you think privacy has a different meaning nowadays?
Yes, definitely. I mean, people put pictures online and share intimate details with hundreds of so-called friends on social networks. You can watch videos of absolutely anything, you know? People brushing their teeth, all kinds of things that were once considered private.
Right. And every few minutes, they post updates saying what they're doing. The cat just bit me, or gonna wash my hair. We don't need to know things like that.
True. You can get to know more about people on the other side of the world than about someone next door or the guy upstairs. But I guess it's pretty harmless.
Maybe, but what about real invasions of privacy? Like online stores bombard you with ads offering personal recommendations because they know what you've searched for, and applications programmed to monitor your email. Then on your screen, you get those pop-up ads based on what you've just written. They're the ones I find creepy.
Well, you can just ignore ads. What worries me is the information demanded from you if you just want a username for a website. Sometimes they want your mailing address, cell phone number, date of birth, everything. There must be a lot of people happy to give away all this information, but they have no idea of how it'll be used. They get taken in by websites eager to make money by selling their databases to other companies.
Privacy is not an easy concept to define. So let's see if we can come up with a definition of privacy. In the
What things do they consider private? Here we have it. First, the professor asks the question. Do you think privacy has a different meaning nowadays? Yes, and then Gert, I think that's how you pronounce it, Gert. She talks about kinds of things that were once considered private. What things are those? Intimate details. But like what?
Like brushing your teeth.
Like brushing your teeth. Is that an intimate detail?
Yes, I think so.
Think so? All right, good. What other examples can you think of an intimate detail?
Pictures online.
Pictures of what? Once, a long time ago, I saw a picture. A friend had a picture of his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was looking pretty good. She was looking pretty and beautiful, but she was in her bedroom, and her bedroom was not clean. And that didn't look good. The girl was looking good, but not the bedroom. Have you ever seen pictures like that online? So what do you think about the interior of your bedroom? Is that something to be public, or is that something a little bit more intimate?
I think it depends on you.
Right.
But yeah, it could be something very intimate. I mean, something that you don't like to share with others. In general, I would say that.
Yeah, I think so, right? Something that is not to be shared with just with anyone, only a select group of people, right? Because it's a more intimate detail. Do you have any other ideas? What other intimate details can she be referring to?
The places you visit might be.
Places you visit like on the internet or on the street?
On the street.
Places you visit, yes. I mean, you might like to go to the store, right? But is that you want everybody to know which store you go to? That detail?
Right.
Right, very good. Yes, I think I agree with you. Perfect. Next question, guys. What things do they consider invasion of privacy?
The part that says like online stores bombard you with ads offering recommendations.
Online stores know what you've searched for, right? So you go to an online store, let's say Walmart. You go to Walmart online and you ask Walmart, I want a razor. And now Walmart is sending you a lot of ads about a razor. Is that what the person is talking about, Gert? Is that an invasion of privacy?
I think all depends on the things that, I mean, on the contract that you sign with these companies, because if you say yes, and normally we don't read anything, and they have always like this, you know, checkpoint check
The little
box.
letters, the little letters.
Exactly, and they said if you want to get information or more information about our products, and we didn't like on market, I think so.
Mhm.
So if we agree, I think it's not invasion, but normally I think yes.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that. I mean, because once my father asked me for a machine, just a type of machine. It's actually to make bread. And he said, son, can you please help me find a machine like this with these specs and these sizes and within this range of price? I said, sure. And a friend of mine suggested me to use Marketplace in Facebook. So I thought, okay, I'll check it out. I think it's a good idea. So I went to Marketplace. I looked for the machine my father was asking for. I found the information I wanted and I left. And I got out and forget about it. Next time I'm checking my Facebook, I'm checking my feed, just checking Facebook, just browsing, wasting time for a couple of minutes. And I received a lot of publicity about that machine. And I don't remember signing anything. You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to you?
All the time.
All the time, right? So I don't know what are the settings of Facebook's about. I mean, I don't remember them. But yes, when they were asked, I don't remember, I saw it on the news. Somebody was complaining about this and Facebook defended itself saying, we asked and you agreed, something like that. But to be honest with you, it feels like an invasion of privacy. What about you? What do you think?
I'm not sure if it is or not, but it's in my case, it's very annoying to see those kind of ads.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my email address is full of that information. So every
Yes.
time that I will look something in Amazon, just like I don't know how many days I receive more offers and more options and everything. And yes, part of my fault because I never checked like those things.
Yes.
But yes, my email address is mainly for commercials and publicity.
Yes. Actually, I have an email address exclusively to give out when a store that I don't trust and I'm not comfortable with asks for it. For example, if I go to Walmart and they say, I need your email address. I say, why? Oh, because we need to send you this information. Okay, and I'll give them that email address that I don't care. So they can send me all things they want. I don't, and it's full of junk. Spam, I'm sorry. It's full of spam. But that's what happens. Okay, one more thing. Do they give a definition of privacy?
No, I think like the conversation finished before that point.
It's not easy. I'm sorry. Privacy is not an easy concept to define, right? That's where it is. What? Not an easy concept to define. Who do you agree with?
In the last time, when say privacy is not an easy concept to define, I agree with the professor because
Okay.
privacy it's not today is not an easy concept to define.
Okay.
Talking about the things about what is considered privacy in internet and for example, the bombard offers the recommendations when they doing I'm pretty sure if is that an invasion of privacy because when you create an account you accept that terms, so I'm pretty sure if that will be.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Felipe or Darío?
I heard something that I like it when Facebook has been involved in these kind of issues about privacy. That is a big issue right now. I remember, I think somebody said that it's like a consequence when us, like as customers, we are the product. I mean, we don't pay anything to Facebook, for example, so it means that they are going to make money with us. So if we would like to not having like this kind of things, publicity and everything, we should pay something. But the point I think is like, yeah, I think when we understand that maybe like consciously or not, we accept the terms. But the problem is that they make this like difficult to really be aware of that. Okay, so the small letters, as you said, or when you have already signed it, try to change that. I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure that it's not really easy to do it. So I think that is the problem. Like they try to cover like this in order that they have access to all your information. So I think that is the best part. It should be something that really like something really easy to do, like just like I agree, I disagree, or something like that, and you change it like pretty easy, and that will be for me the best option.
Yeah, it should be. What about you, Darío? What do you think?
I think Felipe had a point. We shouldn't use that much the social network platforms we use usually, because they are making money with our information, right?
Yeah.
So it is hard to change our behavior because we are very used to using those networks, those platforms.
Yeah. Okay. Who don't you agree with? We have the students, okay? We're talking about Gerd, Richard, and Lorraine. Nothing?
I think all of them, they have good points. I mean, different, but I think I agree in some way with all of them. So yeah.
Thank you very much, mister. Now, why? I think you covered the point, right? Yeah, we're good to move on, correct? What are other things you consider private or invasion of privacy?
I don't know if this it could be an example, but probably something that when a person is like asking you a lot of things. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's like uncomfortable, like having like this kind of conversations. For example, some people they ask you like, how much money do you make or earned? So I think that is like the worst question that you can have. I mean, talking about your salary is something, for me at least, it's something very private.
There you go. Talking about salary. Good.
Yeah, I think it's something that, I mean, I can talk about many things, and I don't mind. I mean, but it's something that you don't have to talk about. Even I don't talk with my family about my salary. Of course, you have an idea, but it's something that when a person maybe just met and asking you, where do you study? Where many questions. So it's like, come on, okay. So give me time and just little by little, that's something that I don't want to share. And I have to say something like this, okay? So, and also, for example, women, I think so, especially for age, when somebody asks about the age, is a really hard topic. So also, I don't know if that could be like invasion of privacy, because we know that some topics that as an adult, I think is difficult to talk about. So it's better not to ask these kind of things.
Right. So when a person just keeps asking and the person is not being sensitive to personal space, right? To some delicate topics. Right. So that's an invasion of privacy, correct? Like you said. Nice, mister. Thank you. Thank you very much. Darío, Leslie, do you have any other opinion?
Yes, this feature Facebook has that tells people your day of birth. I consider it an invasion of privacy, because I don't like people to know my birthday.
All right,
It's
good.
not a women's issue, not only, right? So I don't like messages about
Happy birthday.
people. Yes, exactly. I don't like it. I don't like those things. So that's one feature I don't like about Facebook.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much, mister. Thank you so much. What about you, Leslie? Leslie, do you have anything?
No, teacher.
No, it's all right. All right. So let's continue with the next part. Discuss the questions. Okay. You remember these guys? This is the professor. We have Richard, Ricard. We have Gert and Lorraine. What do you think Gert means by so-called friends? She says so-called friends. Let's take a look at the paragraph. This is Gert. She said, definitely, I mean, people put pictures online and share intimate details with hundreds of so-called friends. All right, guys, this is pair work. So there are 3 of you right now. So Felipe, Darío, and Leslie, please ask and answer these questions about the article. If you don't have the book or you don't have access to the article, let me try and have it for you. Let's go one at a time. Number 1, what do you think Gert means by so-called friends?
Well, I think those so-called friends are the friends that this platform calls friends, but they are not really your friends. You know what I mean? The people that you might know, but you're not close with them.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So yes, I think it's just like in probably the just followers, but friends, to be a friend, I think is something really difficult. But not only in social networks, I think it happens also like a lot in Mexico, like we call to friend to everybody, but, but they are not. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, that's the concept, I think so.
So you mean like maybe no, not classmates. Well, sometimes classmates, mainly co-workers, sometimes neighbors, right? They are not very good friends. They're not really friends. They are so-called friends.
Yes, like acquaintance, I think so. Just
Yes, acquaintance.
Acquaintances, yes. Perfect. Thank you. Next, Go ahead and ask and answer number 2, please. What is Lorraine referring to when she says, but I guess it's pretty harmless?
I think it's like there's no risk. I mean, it's they are not going to have any effect on you, or like bad effect, I would say. So it's just like getting information from commercials or from products, but it's not going to kill you.
She was talking about information that people post on social media about what they do during the day. That might be annoying, but it's harmless, right?
Right. It doesn't cause any harm. It's not danger. Right, Leslie?
Right.
All right. What about number 3? Why do you think Gert uses the word bombard?
I think the point here is not only like receiving emails, for example. It's like you receive a lot of emails during many, I don't know, like it could be once per day in, I don't know how many days, but it's more than what you need.
Right. She was talking about the amount of ads that people receive.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, number 4. Why are some websites a cause for concern in Lorraine's opinion? Lorraine.
I think right here, like the problem is that it's easy that you like give like all your information to many websites, and you really don't know what is going to happen with your information. And I think she said about like selling the information to another companies. So yes, I think that is one of the main concerns about giving information to any kind of website.
Thank you. So why are some websites a cause for concern? Websites eager to make money by selling their databases to their companies, right? Like you were saying, correct? That's what you were saying. Number 5, which of the students' view do you agree with? All right, one more time, everybody you said? Okay. Number 2, grammar, adding information to nouns. Right, how the students say these things without relative clauses. Then read the chart. So let's figure out number 1. How do you read that without the relative clause? What is a relative clause in number 1?
Lives upstairs.
So we just cancel who? The guy lives upstairs. Is that how?
Like
What?
the guy upstairs.
So we also cancel the verb.
Yes.
The guy upstairs. Let's check it out. Who says this? Lorraine, Ricard, or Gert?
I don't remember.
No, it's Lorraine. She says, the guy upstairs. So we cancel not only the relative pronoun, but we also cancel the verb. And we just have the guy upstairs. So this is the noun, the guy. What is the extra information? The information added. The information added is this, who lives upstairs. But now this preposition takes the form of an adjective. The guy upstairs. Now it's like an adjective, but this adjective is not before, it's after, like a preposition kind of thing. But let's take a look at the next one. Number 2. Websites that are eager to make money. Who says that? You don't remember, guys?
Yes, website. Eager.
It's Lorraine. Yes, go ahead.
Website eager to make money.
Websites eager to make money. So what do we cancel?
That are.
That and the verb. Websites eager to make money. And what about number 3? Ads that offer personal recommendations.
Good.
Is good.
As offering personal recommendations.
So what do we do?
We cancel that.
The ads offering personal.
So we cancel the relative clause. And what do we do with the verb? Do we cancel the verb?
We add, no, we add
ing.
Only, we add ing. So this time we don't cancel the verb. Right? So ads offering personal recommendations. What about the next one? 4. Who says that?
Lorraine thing, I think so. I think
It's
Lorraine.
also Gert. It's
Oh,
also Gert. Yeah, it's Gert. Ads based. Here they are.
I see, I see.
We also cancel the relative clause. What else do we cancel?
verb.
The verb. And we're left with the adjective. Perfect. Do you have any questions, guys? No?
No.
I have a question for you. On number 3, we have a relative clause and a verb. And to this verb, we add ing. But in number 1, we also have a relative clause and a verb, but we cancel the verb. What is the difference?
I would say that because on number 3, if we cancel the verb, the sentence doesn't make sense.
Then if we cancel the verb, we will say adds personal recommendations. So this adjective doesn't have a good place right here, right? It will need to go before that. So personal recommendation adds. But if it's later and we leave it with ing, now this is the adjective. Offering is the adjective. As in number 1. In number 1, this preposition is the adjective. But what happens if I grab the verb and I add an ing? The guy living. Would that be incorrect?
It is correct, right?
That is also correct, right? It also works and it's the same. What about when you have a verb be? Will it work if I say instead of canceling the verb be, we say being? Will that be correct? Will that work?
It might be correct, but it sounds a little bit weird, a little bit off.
Yeah, it wouldn't work because it would make a different sentence, a different meaning. Being eager and being based, yeah, it has a different meaning. So in this time, yeah, we don't use the verb be with ing. But we have more forms. More forms to cancel the relative pronoun. Sometimes we cancel the verb, sometimes we don't. And all of this is to add information to nouns. Different types of expression instead of using a relative clause. Here we have an adverb or adverbial phrase. What is the adverb? The adverb is upstairs. Here's another adverb, next door. So all of that will be the adverbial phrase, next door. And this is information added to the noun. No relative clause. The next one, a prepositional phrase. People on the other side of the world. Prepositional phrase. We also have an adjective phrase. People happy to give away this information. All of this is an adjective phrase. Next, we have an active infinitive. An easy concept to define. We have an infinitive to define. A passive infinitive with a future meaning. The subject to be discussed. Now this to be discussed means later. In the future. That's why it's a future meaning. Next, a present participle. Adds offering personal recommendations. And we also have a past participle with a passive meaning. Applications programmed. Past participle with a passive meaning. Why? Because the applications did not program, but they were programmed to monitor your messages. So let's see some other examples. Let's begin with the number 1. Adverb or adverbial phrase. So there. So we have here a noun. Oh, well, the classmate. Oh, I meant to write the classmate. The classmate who sits next to me. Now, this is the relative clause. Yes, and then we have the second clause. Who sits next to me. How can we make this into only one phrase? Not a sentence, but only one phrase. Simple like that, right? It's a lot easier than the whole page might make it look like. What do you think?
Is it possible to write sitting next to me?
Yes, you can also say the classmate sitting next to me. It would also be good. Yes, that will be present participle. What? Yes, a present participle instead of the adverbial. Another example. Let's talk about prepositional phrase. Instead of people, you can say the trees on the other side of the world, the cities on the other side of the world, schools on the other side of the world. Or you can say jobs in Manhattan, buildings in Puebla. You can say the rivers around Chapultepec, etc. Yes?
Yes.
What, and the next one will be an adjective phrase. An adjective phrase, we have people happy to give away this information. We can also say people pleased using Facebook. We can say students angry with homework. Right? An adjective phrase. Parents worried about their kids.
Teachers tired of working too much.
There you go. Next, an active infinitive. An easy concept to define. An easy lesson to teach. A difficult group to talk to. A pleasant song to listen to. Or without the adjective. A hamburger to eat. Some pants to buy. The homework to finish. That will be an active infinitive. And the passive infinitive with a future meaning. The subject to be discussed. The course to be concluded. The chapter to be understood. The book to be written. Good?
Yes.
Present participle with an ing form. Ads offering personal recommendations. We have a lot of those, right? the man talking to that lady. The dog eating his bone. The plant looking a little sad and dry. The animals wandering around the park, etc. Past participle has a passive meaning. Applications programmed to monitor your message. So passive, so somebody else is the doer, the actor, the performer of the action. So applications program, somebody else did the programming. Yes, the food eaten or the food prepared, the coffee served, the lesson planned, the shoes worn, and more things like that. Remember, we're talking about nouns, nouns with extra information. All right, so far do you have any questions, guys?
No questions.
In the last one, for example, can I use only like the past participle, like examples given were clear? That would be one example of that.
You can say in the form of a question, are the examples given clear? And there you have an example of what you just said. That's in the form of the question. When it's not a question, you can say the examples given. And you can say whether in past or present, the question form too. You can say either are or were clear. Sentence, period. So yeah, the noun we're talking about is the examples. The extra information is given, right? Now this is the verb and this is the adjective. So this is a complete sentence. Now let me redo that. This is my noun, my subject. This is my verb and this is my adjective. And all of these, all together, all combined, no, not with yellow. That would make my sentence. Right? Is that good?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Good. Now rewrite the comments. Replace the underlined words with the type of phrase given. Look, we have an example here. The type of phrase given. That's an example right there. First, let's do that. Okay. This will be the next activity after we finished. So right now we have to replace the underlined words, these words. Here we have a relative clause. So how do we rewrite this? And we have here the type of phrase given. We need to use an active infinitive. So how do we do that?
To discuss.
To discuss. So number one should say, the invasion of privacy is an important matter to discuss, correct?
I got it. I got it.
Perfect. That will be an active infinitive. Yes. If you have your books, go ahead and work on the books. If you don't have the books, you can work with the platform. You can work with your PDF in your computer, or you can work off of the slide that I have for you. All you gotta do is rewrite the sentences that are underlined. Okay, work on it for a couple of minutes. And after 2, 3, 4 minutes, we'll compare answers, okay? I will be right back in 1 minute. Okay, guys? Do you have any questions before I take off for 1 minute?
No.
No? All right, then please begin. I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm back, guys. How are you doing? All right, continue. I'm gonna pause the video and I will restart it when we are ready to continue, okay? Okay. Darío, Leslie, are you ready?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Leslie, how are you doing?
I don't pretty sure.
It's okay. Whatever you have, we're going to compare answers in a minute.
I think I'm done.
Okay, thank you very much. Leslie, how are you doing?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, go ahead. Whatever you have, if you have 3, 4, 5, please compare your answers with your classmates, yes? Felipe,
Yes.
Darío, compare your answers, guys, please.
Yes. On number 2, on the second sentence, it says, I mean, how to protect your privacy is an issue to be taken seriously.
I agree.
Okay. What about the next one?
No, I'm not sure, but I could be like willing to part with personal information.
Anyone willing to part? Oh, yes, I have the same thing.
Okay, so let's continue with number 2.
2.
And number 2 is prepositional phrase.
Yes.
I think is stores monitor the items. What I
In
put
your,
right here?
in your basket.
Yeah, in your basket.
That's it, right? Yes. Then I have, and then bombard you with emails offering discounts,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And the last one says, I delete all emails sent by shopping websites.
Yeah, I have exactly the same thing.
Okay. On number 3, it's useful that they send out their advertisements targeted
Yeah,
at you
exactly.
personally, right? Sometimes you get discount coupons on things you really need.
I put 4 things you really
4
need.
things. Okay. Perfect.
And number 4 is nothing to worry about.
Yes, nothing to worry about. And then the thing to watch is one really they want.
Yeah, yes.
And number 5, friends sharing your personal details.
Yeah, I don't know, but I should put sharing, but I think that is not the present participle. I don't know. I always get confused with this present participle. I don't know. I just don't remember the structure of present participle.
I think that's correct. Friends sharing your personal details. The next sentence says that's one of the potential dangers existing in social networking.
I think it's a prepositional phrase. I think it should be one of the potential dangers in social networking.
Okay, I see. It might be both, right? Existing or in social network. I think both are correct.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's like one of them is like a little more complete. And the other one, I think you don't need to say exist. I think it's like imply
Right.
potential dangers in social networks. I think so.
Yes. Yeah. And the last one is downstairs, just downstairs. The apartment
Yes.
downstairs. Yes.
All right, now, can you guys work together and mark each answer, please?
Okay. Let's see.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
Work together. Yes, Felipe, Darío, and Leslie. Work together, talk to each other, and mark each answer, like this one.
Oh,
There you
that
go,
was the
Darío.
instruction.
No, first
We
he was
haven't-
comparing. He was comparing.
Ah, okay.
Now that you compare, go ahead and mark the answers, please. Whatever you agree on, mark it. If you agree on, mark it. If you don't, you can leave it open, leave it untouched.
Okay.
My lines are horrible. I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
don't
right,
use
Mr.
I don't use like some in my classes.
It's all right, mister. I think it's understandable, right, guys? Perfect. Now, all you gotta do is listen and check your answers, okay? Let's listen and check.
1.
The invasion of privacy is an important matter to discuss. I mean, how to protect our privacy is an issue to be taken seriously, and anyone willing to part with personal information is just taking a risk.
2. I hate it when online stores monitor the items in your basket and then bombard you with emails offering you discounts on those same things. I delete all emails sent by shopping websites on principle. 3.
It's useful that they send advertisements targeted at you personally. Sometimes you get discount coupons for things you really need.
4.
Giving your phone number in stores to get a refund is nothing to worry about. The thing to watch is when they want your fingerprints.
5.
Friends sharing your personal details with strangers. That's one of the potential dangers in social networking. For example, I know far too much about the person in the apartment downstairs.
How are your answers, guys? Any changes?
Pretty much the same,
Yes, everything is correct,
right?
right? Any questions, guys?
Yes,
No?
on
Yes.
on number 5, when the text says that's one of the potential dangers, it could be existing as well, right? Existing on social
Yes.
network.
You can
Okay.
also say it and it will be the same. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And you can use a synonym of existing without the ing. You can say present. That's one of the potential dangers present in social networking. That will be an adjective phrase,
Okay, perfect.
right?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, please, what you gotta do is discuss these comments. Do you agree with any of them? Discuss with your classmates, please. Which comment, which sentences do you agree with? Which you don't agree with, and why?
What do you think?
Yeah, please go ahead, Felipe. Go ahead. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Yeah, go ahead. Give your opinions, please.
Yeah, about the first part, I think is correct, or I agree that we have to take seriously like this topic, because it seems like harmless as like the previous reading that we have, but it could be something that can have a bad effect. I mean, sometimes they can get into your accounts, in your bank accounts, especially like all related to money, and they can charge you like, I don't know, any amount from any part of the world. I remember I received a charge from China a couple of months ago. And honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't know where they get my information, but it could be in social network, it could be anywhere. So yeah, I think it's something serious, but we see in general it's like something harmless until we have a problem.
How did you solve that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
How did you solve that issue?
Yeah, so I receive like the notifications by my phone, like every time that I being charged something, So I check my cell phone and I have like first I have a charge from I don't know, I didn't recognize like the company. And immediately when I was checking this, I received another charge. So I block my credit card, and then I immediately called to the bank, and they open like I don't know how to say that, like an issue, and they resolve it. They give me back my money immediately. I mean, they like erase the charge, then they investigate for 3 months, I think so, and they said yes, it was something that you didn't do it, so that's okay. So your charge has already been like erased, and that's why, and that's what happened.
Oh, I see. So it was solved immediately, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah, probably, I don't know if it was me or I used my credit card and they stole my information from because I use a lot my credit card. But I mean, that's why I have my credit card because I want to buy things online. I want to use it everywhere. I don't want to use like cash. I think is safer at least. And you can, nowadays you need to buy many things online. So like no using it because of this, I think is like losing benefit. But some people, they do like that. They don't buy anything online, but I can't, I think so.
Okay, what about you, Dario? Leslie, go right ahead, Leslie, please.
No, go ahead, Mario. I agree with the last one, where say friends sharing your personal details with strangers, and sometimes isn't use friends is, I think it's more us. We share a lot personal details what we don't should do. You know, today we share whatever we're doing, like you doing the example from your friend, something like that. I think we need to be more careful with that things.
You know, I think I have a problem, and I know that normally I accept everybody in my Facebook, even if I don't know them. Yeah, nowadays I'm checking like the profiles, and yeah, because I have had like good experience with people that I really don't know through Facebook especially, but now I'm checking the profiles. They don't have like any information, or if the girl is really beautiful, I don't accept her. So yeah, that could be something that we can do.
Yeah, I think it's really good to meet people in other social media, but I mean, it's like we have to be careful with that thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when the technology started, I took a lot course from my school about security information, and I think I'm really in a double moral, because it's like I don't pretty sure what is fine right now.
I'm sorry, Leslie. What is fine now? You mean as what is okay? All right. What about you, Dario? Anything to say?
Well, about accepting invitations or profile invitations on Facebook, I am totally the opposite. I don't accept anyone. Yeah, I have just my friend, my friends, my close people that I'm close with, because I've had a lot of bad experiences with Facebook. So I don't post personal stuff. I don't have photos of me on any social media because of the issues I've had in the past with another platform.
All right, mister, thank you very much. So you are very careful, right? So to you, number 5, you strongly agree with number 5, right?
Yes, totally.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Now for the next activity, listening and speaking, privacy or convenience. What do you guys prefer?
Privacy.
Privacy, very good. Leslie?
What meaning convenience?
Convenience, easy to get to. It's better for you. It's easier for you. It's convenient.
Privacy?
You prefer privacy? All
Yeah.
right. Now I'm going to take a wild guess and I'm going to say Felipe prefers convenience. Now, am I wrong, mister?
I don't understand what do you mean with convenience? I mean, I understand the meaning of the word, but I don't see what
You don't
is
understand how they are related, right?
exactly.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mister.
It's like Facebook. Would be like Facebook.
Okay. Yes, I think you have a
like
good point. No. Convenience, the perfect convenient example I can give you is an store, OXXO, an OXXO store. Is it easier for you to go to the supermarket, to Aurrera or to Walmart, or is easier to go to OXXO? What is easier? Not cheaper, easier. Leslie.
To go to OXXO?
OXXO is easier, so OXXO is more convenient. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue with the next part. Why are they related? Why are they here? Privacy versus convenience. What do you see in the middle of the picture?
A fingerprint.
Fingerprint. Very good. When do people have to give their fingerprints?
In banks, at work sometimes, and the El SAT.
Yes, now El Sal has it, right? Well, maybe for a long time, but I didn't know. Is that it?
In the bank?
Is it the bank? Yes, the bank.
Oh, in your cell phone.
In your cell phone. Is it a reasonable request?
Yeah, I think.
Do you think it's reasonable? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to Mark tell Mary about a trip to a theme park. Are the sentences true or false? Okay, so let's take a look at the sentences. Mark knew beforehand that he would have to give his fingerprint. Is that true or false? Number 2, the man behind Mark in the line agreed with Mark's point of view. True or false? Number 3, Mary thinks the theme park knows that people will object. True or false? Number 4, Mary would rather be inconvenienced than give her personal information. Number 5, Mark's wife thought it was a convenient way of opening the lockers. So let's listen and check these sentences, either true or false. You can write your answers on the screen or on the chat. Right here on the chat. Yes? All right, so let's listen up.
You know what drives me crazy?
What?
When you go to a store and they ask for all your personal information, and you know, you're just buying a t-shirt or something.
I hate that too. I mean, I don't mind giving them my zip code, but nothing else.
Me too. I just say no thank you when they ask for my phone number. It's too much.
I know. We took the kids to a theme park last summer, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, the kids were all excited and everything, and we spent an hour in line waiting to get into the place. And then, when we got to the front of the line, we found out you had to give your fingerprint or you couldn't get in.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I wanted to walk right out of there. And I told them I didn't think it was right, to ask someone for their fingerprint to get into a theme park. And the guy behind us in line was like, "Dude, just do it and stop holding up the line."
Wow, I guess there are people happy to just do it. So what did you do?
Well, my wife was like, "We can't disappoint the kids. They've made a list of rides they want to go on, and they're so excited."
Well, of course, and they know that at that theme park. I mean, basically, you have no choice. How can you turn away when you have kids in tow? I mean, who's going to do that?
Exactly. I mean, I really didn't want to give them permission to take my fingerprint, but yeah, I had to give my fingerprint.
It's ridiculous. I mean, did they say why they need your fingerprint?
Oh, yeah. They say it's so you can use the lockers. You get a locker that only opens with your fingerprint. Like, so you don't need a locker key.
Well, I guess that's kind of useful. At least you can't lose the key. But what if there's an employee who's prepared to steal your identity? I mean, what do they do with all the fingerprints at the end of the day?
Well, they said they delete them from the system, but who knows?
Yeah, I think I'd rather give up the convenience and know that my personal information is secure.
Well, actually, it wasn't that convenient in the end anyway. My wife had to go back to the locker because we'd forgotten the camera. It took her like half an hour to get back to it, right across the park in all the crowds. And then when she got there, she realized she couldn't open it anyway because it had my fingerprint on there.
Oh, no. What a pain. There's a lot to be said for sticking with the old-fashioned way.
All right, pretty good. Did you guys listen to the audio okay? Please share your answers. What do you think? Number 1 is true or false? Number 2, 3, 4, 5, true or false?
I didn't wrote anything, so I don't know if I remember. But I think number 1 is false.
Would you like to listen again?
Yes, please.
Felipe? Dario?
Yes.
That's fine, yeah.
All right, let's listen again.
I know. I mean, I don't mind giving them my zip code, but nothing else.
Me too. I just say no thank you when they ask for my phone number. It's too much.
I know. We took the kids to a theme park last summer, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, the kids were all excited and everything, and we spent an hour in line waiting to get into the place. And then, when we got to the front of the line, we found out you had to give your fingerprint or you couldn't get in.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I wanted to walk right out of there. And I told them I didn't think it was right, to ask someone for their fingerprint to get into a theme park. And the guy behind us in line was like, "Dude, just do it and stop holding up the line."
Wow, I guess there are people happy to just do it. So what did you do?
Well, my wife was like, "We can't disappoint the kids. They've made a list of rides they want to go on, and they're so excited.
Well, of course, and they know that at that theme park. I mean, basically, you have no choice. How can you turn away when you have kids in tow? I mean, who's going to do that?
Exactly. I mean, I really didn't want to give them permission to take my fingerprint, but yeah, I had to give my fingerprint.
It's ridiculous. I mean, did they say why they need your fingerprint?
Oh, yeah. They say it's so you can use the lockers. You get a locker that only opens with your fingerprint. Like, so you don't need a locker key.
Well, I guess that's kind of useful. At least you can't lose the key. But what if there's an employee who's prepared to steal your identity? I mean, what do they do with all the fingerprints at the end of the day?
Well, they said they delete them from the system, but who knows?
Yeah, I think I'd rather give up the convenience and know that my personal information is secure.
Well, actually, it wasn't that convenient in the end anyway. My wife had to go back to the locker because we'd forgotten the camera. It took her like half an hour to get back to it, right across the park in all the crowds. And then when she got there, she realized she couldn't open it anyway because it had my fingerprint on there.
Oh no, what a pain. There's a lot to be said for sticking with the old-fashioned way.
There you go, guys. Compare your answers. Okay, perfect. So you guys have it. So number 1 false, number 2 false. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Almost everything falls in my case, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you guys agree. 4, 5 agree. You only disagree on number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you gotta do, because you think the number 1 is false. Number 2 is false.
False as well.
Number 3, Felipe thinks is false. Dario thinks is true. Number 4, you guys think is true.
Yes.
And number 5, you guys say it's false, right?
Yes.
We have to correct the false information. So if number 1 is false, what is the correct information?
Mark didn't know in advance that he needed to give his fingerprints.
So Mark didn't know. He will have to give his fingerprint, right? Number 2, false. What is the correct information?
Disagreed with Mark's point of view.
The man behind Mark in the line disagreed.
Right.
Okay. So let's write disagree. Disagree. There you go. Something like that. What about number 4? Is true, so we don't change that. And the last one, number 5.
Wasn't convenient.
Wasn't. So a negative. Wasn't. Okay. Now we have to check number 3. Is it true or false? Mary thinks the theme park knows that people will object. Would you like to listen again or you want the answer?
Just the answer, I think.
Just the answer. Mary thinks the theme park knows. Yes, it's true. She says theme parks know that. They know people will object and they know that they will submit. They will just give up and say, okay, I'll do it because my kids are excited. Right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. We are finished with this lesson. Now we are finished with the first section. Yes, it is 6 p.m. What do you guys think of the lesson A? Is it difficult? Is it easy? Is it good? What do you think?
For me, it's okay. I mean, it's always useful to have new, to check vocabulary or new vocabulary. And especially, I like the way that we can like make shorter the sentences.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. What do you think, Dario? What do you think, Leslie?
Very interesting. We have to get into it. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Leslie, anything?
I need to practice.
You need to practice. You can practice in class, honey. You can just give your opinion. You can let your classmates hear you and help you. Okay. Remember, that's what the class is for you to practice. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Let's go to break. I will see you at 6:20. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice lunch.
Okay, see you in a moment.
See you in 20 minutes.